Well, it's the show that takes you around the world, and it's getting ready for quite a big season.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about The Amazing Race, and this morning we're joined by host Phil Keoghan. Hello, Phil.
Good to see you.
Phil, I was driving into work today, and my entree to the highway was blocked off, and I got lost. How well do you think I would do in Amazing Race 35?
Well, from a content point of view, I think really well, because that sounds really interesting. We love when people get lost. From getting to the finish line first, maybe not so well.
Yeah.
Sounds like you took a detour after you ran into a roadblock and you needed to fast forward.
Yeah, that's exactly what I needed, but no one to help me.
And this is why you are the host of The Amazing Race. Phil, okay, so 35th trip around the world. Where are we going this time?
Well, we love going to new and different places. We've been to over 100 countries on Amazing Race. We started in Los Angeles underneath the Hollywood sign. The Hollywood sign is celebrating its 100th birthday, so it seemed appropriate to head up there high on the hill. That original sign was actually put there as believe it or not, as a billboard, like an advertising billboard.
Yeah.
And now is the most iconic sign in the world. So we gathered 13 teams for the very first time underneath the sign. And they start off in Los Angeles, and immediately we put them into a roadblock. And their first destination, after they race to the airport and try to get on the first flight, is they head off to Bangkok, Thailand. And as you know, in the last few years, we've been a little challenged with this thing. You may have heard of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it kind of it got us onto charters to keep everybody safe. But now we are back on commercial flights. And, of course, that's old school Amazing Race. And it's always fun to see them having to sit back there and coach, like literally right next to the crying babies.
And of course, nobody happier about the coach airfares than the producers of the show. I'm curious.
Actually, there's a little bit of truth to that. I mean, charters are expensive.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious, Phil, after all of your experience on this show, can you, like, when you see the pairs, the teams for the first time, can you look at a pair and be like, ooh, you guys look like you're going to struggle? Something tells me about you guys aren't going to work together well.
Absolutely not.
No.
I have absolutely no clue. I mean, if ever there was the rule, don't judge a book by its cover, it's when you look at the pairs on Amazing Race. Honestly, I look at some of these teams and I'm like, this relationship is borderline dysfunctional. But somehow, listen, who am I to judge why a relationship works or why people get on and why they do well? I guess if I've learned anything, it's just zip it and wait until you see how they do, because I really, I will be honest with you. We always take a few wagers on who we think are going to do well, and we're very rarely right. It's really guessing. We really are guessing.
Is there a team that we should be really looking out for? Because you guys always have these amazing backstories for them. But is there one team that that Cody's going to be rooting for?
Well, it's impossible to know who you're going to gravitate towards. I will say that nobody makes it on the cast unless they're just inherently interesting. I think one of the more interesting couples that certainly got my attention was Rob and Cody. You may remember a few years ago we had Margie and Luke, and Luke was deaf, and he had this wonderful or has this wonderful relationship with his mother. And here we have now a father and a son, and the connection between them, the love, the ability to be able to race the way that they do is awesome. It's hugely inspiring, and I do love that. I have a great relationship with my dad. I do love that sort of father-son dynamic. And so everybody's going to gravitate to a different team for various reasons. But for me, I love that father-son dynamic because, it reminds me of the connection I have with my own dad.
This is great. Okay, well, we're going to find out tonight. It's a 90-minute premiere on CBS 13, the 35th trip around the world.
And Phil, where are you right now? What is that behind you? Is that Dixon, California? Where is that?
I'm in New York, and I'm at right in Times Square, and it's sort of fitting because we started the very first season of Amazing Race in New York, and that was back in 2001. And here I am in New York on a beautiful day with this incredible view just
It's
over
perfect.
there, the Intrepid, there on the Hudson. And yeah, it just seems fitting that here I am with this amazing view. I had no idea I'd be sitting here all these years later, still talking to you about Amazing Race,
awesome.
which is awesome.
Very cool.
Good stuff.
Thanks, Phil.
All right, Bill. See you tonight.
Oh, yes, you will. Absolutely. 100%.
Thanks, Phil.
I'll be there. I know it.
He saw the episode.
He was there when he
Bill
shot.
Keoghan, everybody.
All right, friends, stick around. We got more Good Day coming up on the other side of the break.